Hello everyone, welcome to the Nairobi Natural channel. This is a channel dedicated to guiding you through the wonderful journey of caring for your natural hair. In this video, I share some tips on how to deal with an itchy scalp when you're in a protective style. A protective style is any style that minimizes hair manipulation and shields the hair from environmental stressors like weather, friction, and overstyling. It is important for this style to protect the entire hair length. For purposes of this video, I will be focusing on protective styles that deal with extensions. So styles like box braids, kinky, afro kinky, Mali braids. Feel free to use any tips that make the most sense for you. When I was growing up, I used to suffer a lot with itchy scalp and dandruff, especially after installing a protective style. This was before my natural hair journey. Since starting my own natural hair journey and learning how to style my own hair, I have also learned ways of preventing and dealing with an itchy scalp. This video will be split into two categories: steps to take before installing your protective style and steps to take during your protective style. So the first tip I would give is clean your scalp. Clean your scalp. Trust me, a clean scalp sets you up for success when it comes to your protective style. And there are many ways of cleaning your scalp. You can go like the usual shampoo, get a really good high quality shampoo that you know really cleanses your scalp. Or you can use some kind of clay. So personally, I use bentonite clay when it comes to, if I want to ensure that my scalp is clean, really clean, I'll go in with bentonite clay, mix it in either with some warm water, or I'll use apple cider vinegar and just use that to clean my scalp. You could also do an apple cider vinegar rinse. The good thing about apple cider vinegar is it actually also helps to balance the scalp pH, and so then this will reduce the chances of having some kind of scalp irritation. All that matters is that you clean your scalp before you install your protective style. I will leave a link in the description sharing my bentonite clay mask recipe, so that if that's something that you're interested in making, you'll be able to find a video for it. Let me know down in the comments what cleansers you use. The next tip I would give is working with clean extensions. So if you're working with newly bought extensions from the shop, what I would recommend is that you soak them in some warm water, white vinegar. There'll be a link in the description for how I soak my hair before I install it. But you might also be someone who likes to reuse your braids. Over time, more and more companies have come up with brands that you can actually recycle, you can actually reuse certain kinds of hair, as opposed to you having to go in to buy more every single time you want to install a protective style. So what you can do in that case, if you're recycling your hair, you can use some shampoo, dilute some shampoo in water, leave that in, soak it maybe even overnight, then rinse the hair. Once you rinse the hair, you go in again and then you soak it in warm water and vinegar, just to make sure that your hair is super clean before you install it. Because remember, these extensions are going to be in close contact with your scalp, and it doesn't make any sense. It actually beats the purpose for you to go in working with a clean scalp and then the hair that you're using is dirty, or it has some kind of irritants on it. You know, that just completely beats the purpose, because then you'll still end up having an itchy scalp. Even after taking the steps before installing your protective style, you might still experience some irritation, some itchiness on your scalp. And this is, of course, it depends on a number of factors. If you're someone who keeps your protective style for many weeks, you have a high likelihood that you'll still experience some kind of irritation. So here are a few tips that can help you out when your hair is already in the protective style and you're experiencing some itchiness. One of the things that you can do is oiling your scalp. Certain oils have antibacterial and antifungal properties. Oils like neem, tea tree oil, olive oil, avocado oil, just to name a few. These can really help dealing with an itchy scalp, or if you're experiencing dandruff, certain oils actually can help you with that. So just a quick tip when you're using neem oil. Neem oil has a very, very strong smell, and not everyone likes it, including myself, to be honest. But I will link a link in the description that is a video basically just giving you guys a few tips and tricks to help mask the smell of neem oil, because it's really, really effective in helping with an itchy scalp. In addition to oiling your scalp, you can also use essential oils. Essential oils like tea tree, peppermint help with an itchy scalp. When you're using essential oils, it's really, really important to use them in their diluted form. So what you can do is, because if you decide you're going to be oiling your scalp with some kind of carrier oil, so let's say neem oil or olive oil or avocado oil, what you can do is you can go in with, let's say, your tea tree essential oil, put in a couple of drops of the tea tree oil into that carrier oil, the olive, the neem oil. Then now that mixture is what you use to oil your scalp. It's important to remember not to use essential oils directly onto the scalp because it will burn. Speaking from experience, it will burn. Do not use them in the concentrated form. Dilute them in something. If you're someone who doesn't mind having your hair wet when it's in a protective style, you could also consider doing an apple cider vinegar rinse. Personally, when my hair is in a protective style, especially of this kind, I don't like it getting wet, so I won't wash it, I won't condition, I won't deep condition. But I know there are some people who don't mind that. So if you don't mind that, you could do an apple cider vinegar rinse. Like I mentioned before, apple cider vinegar really, really helps to treat the scalp, and it also helps to balance the scalp pH. And pH balance is really, really, really important when it comes to the scalp. If you'd like to know more actually about like pH, the scalp, let me know down in the comments and I'll be sure to make a video for you guys. What you do is you dilute the apple cider vinegar with water. So different people use different ratios, and it just depends on how sensitive your scalp is. So you can do 1:1, so like 1 cup of water to 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. You can do 2:1, where it's 2 cups of water to 1 cup of vinegar. You can do 3:1. You can play around with these ratios until you find one that works for you. Personally, I like to do a 2:1 or 3:1 type ratio because I found that the 1:1 can be a little bit too strong for my scalp. But whatever ratio works for you, do that. Something else to note about apple cider vinegar is it has a pungent smell. And usually once it dries, the smell disappears. But depending on what kind of hair you're using for your extensions, you might still smell a bit of it on your hair. So what you can do once you've used the apple cider rinse is you can just wash your hair now, like go under the water, or just use plain old water and just go over your hair again to just get rid of that smell. When I say rinse, all I mean is once you've diluted your apple cider vinegar, either using a spray bottle or you can just put it in a normal container. You can even use like a water bottle, honestly. So you put your liquid in here, let's say. You get into the shower. You can decide to shampoo your hair or not. You can also decide to condition your hair or not. Or you can just decide to just go straight in with the apple cider. What you do once it's diluted, you can just now use it to just pour all over your scalp while in the shower. Let it stay for a while, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then once that's done, you can now go in and do a final rinse to just get rid of the smell and also like obviously the apple cider and the apple cider. Or if you're using a spray bottle, same routine, except now you'll just be spraying. I feel like I have a spray bottle somewhere. Let's assume that the apple cider is in this spray bottle. Once your hair is wet, you just go in and you just spray it in sections. Spray. Make sure to saturate and you're focusing on the scalp. Same thing with if you are using just a normal container. Emphasis is on the scalp. Then once again, leave it in your hair for like 5-10 minutes. Then you can just now rinse it out after that. Then just continue with your usual typical routine. So maybe you're gonna oil your scalp, or you moisturize your hair, seal, whatever routine you usually have for moisturizing your hair in extensions. Go ahead and just follow up with that. Let me know down in the comments in case you want me to do a detailed tutorial where I show you guys how I prepare my apple cider rinse and how I use it. Personally, I won't be doing it on my hair in a protective style. I'll be using it on my hair when it's open, when it's in its open state. But I think that the video could still be really helpful in case you're interested in just learning more about apple cider and using an apple cider rinse, because that's a rinse that you can also use when your hair is open. It's not just tailored to when your hair is in a protective style. Another thing that you can do is just using store-bought cleansers. Over the years, a lot of companies have come up with products tailored specifically to hair that's in protective styles or it's in locks. So you could actually get a cleanser from a store and just use that on your hair. That's funny enough, that's actually how I started using the Cantu root rinse. Initially when I bought it, I bought it with the purpose of using it on my hair when it's in a protective style. But like I mentioned, I really don't like it when my hair is wet, when it's in braids. So I ended up not using it for that specific purpose, but I still use it in my everyday hair care. And these products really vary. So you'll find some that are just there, you just apply it on your scalp to soothe your scalp. Some of them actually act kind of like a cleanser, but they don't lather up as much as shampoo. They're not like your typical shampoos, but their job is to cleanse your scalp, like the Cantu root rinse. So you could also go with this option in terms of just keeping your scalp clean. And those are the tips that I have for you guys today. If you have any questions or any other tips that you feel like I might have left out, please feel free to comment down below. I would really love to hear from you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!